I wanted to do a short video just before the draft on draft day, briefly highlighting some of the players that might surprise were they the Ravens pick at 30. The first is Cooper Dejon out of Iowa. He's a corner, plays a lot of off man, cover three. This is a really nice play by Cooper. See him stack the receiver with his eyes to the quarterback. This shows his instincts. He sees the quarterback get rid of the football, has an understanding of where the route is behind him, where the safety coming over the top is. See him fold around the receiver and be in a position to intercept this football if his teammate doesn't run into him and then act like he made the play. I'm not as high on Cooper as a lot of people. I think you have to know exactly what you want him to do. I don't think he's an outside corner. He is a superior athlete with very good instincts, but you would need to have a plan for him. As I said, I think people are higher on him than I am as a prospect. Darius Robinson, edge out of Mizzou, to my mind would be a surprise, but not an entire shock. He's a 6'6", 285 power rusher, shows the ability to dominate up front, and in many ways fits the mold of a Ravens edge defender. Depending on how the board falls and perhaps in a trade back, it would not shock me if he were the Ravens' first selection in the draft. Darius is the edge closest to us. This is not at all uncommon as we watch him come off the football, get his hands off first, sink his hips, lock out, shed, dominate the man across from him, and end up bringing down the ball carrier. Xavier Legette at the bottom of our screen is a popular first-round mock for Ravens fans. To this point, I haven't watched as much Xavier Legette as I ought to have, so this will be my impression based on minimal watching. He does not run an extensive route tree. To me, at this point, he looks like a one-cut runner, and I'm not convinced he plays quite as fast as he tested. He is, however, a versatile wide receiver so far as application. He is good in the open field, and he excels at contested catch situations. He looks like a second-round receiver to me, but if the Ravens were to pick him, they would be convinced he's the missing piece. At the bottom of our screen, we see a nice release from Xavier. Xavier's the number one receiver in this bunch, runs a nice little underneath pivot or whip to get separation. It would not surprise me if the next player featured, Nate Wiggins, cornerback out of Clemson, were the pick at 30 for the Ravens. I read that Daniel Jeremiah mocked him to the Ravens. I wasn't able to watch or see any commentary, but I'm guessing that Daniel has some insight that Nate may in fact be the best player available at that point. As far as pure cover skills, Nate is probably as good as any corner in this class. He's certainly worthy of a first-round selection. The knock on him is that he is rather slight, weighs in around 173, but he is a highly instinctive, intelligent cornerback. He's lightning fast with easy speed and coverage. Seems to me in many respects to fit the mold of a Ravens corner. It's very possible he's the best player available. Nate's at the bottom of our screen. He sees Xavier Legette. You can tell he's eyeing that up, thinking about it, reads the release of Legette out of the backfield, comes downhill, makes the tackle.